Good morning. Barry Bryson here, thanking you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. We're in the Gospel of Mark, and we are in chapter 7, and we are going to be looking at verses 24 through 30. So yesterday, Jesus, after he had talked to the Pharisees about hand washing, and the role of hand washing in being pleasing to God, and how they were using their traditions to give themselves a pass in keeping God's laws, talked to all of us, the crowds, and he said, listen to this is important, get this. And he taught us it's not what goes into a person that defiles a person, but what comes out. So now Jesus is going north. We're going to find him in Lebanon. It's the farthest north that he goes. And he encounters a Syrophoenician woman who has a sick child. And this is a very problematic passage. It's a puzzlement. It's a puzzlement to me. I don't have a satisfactory answer for the questions that we naturally bring to this text. So let's go ahead and read it. From there he rose, and he went away, and really away, to the region of Tyre. And when he had entered a house, he wanted no one to know about it, but he still couldn't escape notice. After hearing of him, a woman whose little daughter had an unclean spirit immediately came and fell at his feet. Same phrase that Jairus uses. My baby girl, right, has a little daughter, and she's sick, and she falls at Jesus' feet. This is important. She prostrates herself in humility. And the woman was a Gentile and a Syrophoenician of the Syrophoenician race. In other words, she's Lebanese. And she kept asking him to cast the demon out of her. She kept asking. This is something she kept doing without Jesus responding. She's asking. And then he says back to her, he was saying, so he's making excuses why he's not going to do this. Let the children be satisfied first, for it's not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. But she answered and said to him, yes, Lord, but even the dogs under the table feed on the children's crumbs. And he said to her, because of this answer, go your way. The demon is gone out of your daughter. And going back to her home, she found the child lying on the bed, the demon having departed. Okay, well, let's talk about this a little bit. This is not the first time we encounter a Syrophoenician woman who needs the help of a man of God, because Elijah raised the son of a Syrophoenician woman that was caring for him. And one of those 7 resurrection stories that we talked about a little bit at length just a few days ago. And so we're kind of treading ground that we should be familiar with as a reader of the Bible. Jesus is really far north. He's gone there to escape notice. He's gone there to have time with his apostles, but he still can't really fully escape notice. And this woman finds out that he's there, and she comes and she throws herself at Jesus' feet, and she keeps pleading with him to heal her daughter. And he doesn't give an answer at first, and then he gives an answer, and he says, no, it's not right to give what belongs to the children to dogs. And that is jarring to the ear, like nothing else in all of Scripture is. That Jesus would refuse to heal this woman's little daughter when he's already healed people in Gentile country. He's already been to the Decapolis. He's going to go back, and he's already toured the villages of Gadara. He's healed people there. So why? And I think we're told in the text, I think he wants to elicit this response. Now, my big problem, and yours is too, is that Jesus calls her a dog. It's interesting to note in the text that he calls her a lap dog, a little dog. And it's clear that she takes it that way because she talks about a house pet. So in other words, he's not using the word. It's a completely different word, which would in Hebrew would have been Caleb, to mean a dog. a wild dog, a junkyard dog. The dogs, he didn't use the same word when he talks about a dog returning to his vomit. It's a different word. It means the lap dog, the dog that lives in your house, which she understands it to mean because she talks about a dog there under the table, begging for food and receiving it. And Jesus is calling our attention to her answer. And that doesn't satisfy me completely. It doesn't make it any less jarring in my ear when I hear Jesus say this to her. But it asks me to think about this answer. Let me ask you this question. How many people in all four Gospels ever get the last word with Jesus in a conversation, in a give and take? How many people? One. This one. Nobody else does. Not Martha of Bethany, not the woman at the well, although they stand their ground and look Jesus in the eye and speak right back to him. He always has the final word, but he lets her have the final word because it's an important word that he wants us to listen to. And it is, I think it's this, that at different times and in different contexts, we all have a different role to play. And at that time and in that place, Jesus was not prepared to share with the Gentiles what he was sharing with the Jews. Although he was going to die on the cross for everybody really soon. And she's a woman who understood that in some way and at some level, and understood who he was, and had a request to make anyway, to say, I'm somebody too. I may not be the child at the table right now, but I am. I'm the little dog. You said I was. Okay, that's who I am. I am the little dog. I'm the pet. I'm the household pet. But the household pet gets table scraps, and that's all I'm asking for. And it's that humility that we have when we need to have when we go before the Lord. Remembering that we, and this time and in this place, are his children. But her humility and not being off-put by the role she's playing at that moment, at that time. I think that's important. I think that's the thing Jesus wants us to see. And I think he elevates her because he allows her to have really the last word and says, okay, you're right. I'll give you what you want. That doesn't happen anywhere else, but it happens here. And that's why, although it is such a problematic and in a way cacophonous passage, it's a necessary passage, and one that makes us appreciate her and appreciate the exchange that she has with Jesus. Okay, we'll pick up with verse 31 next time. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes. Okay.